Abra, abracadabra. I want to reach out and grab ya. Hello, and welcome to the next episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, Quarantine Edition, the podcast where Matt and Todd sit in our homes on the computer, talking to each other over Google Hangouts, discussing this movie we watched on the Netflix from a top 100 Netflix site. If you can tell that I'm disappointed we're not in the theater, it's because I'm laying it on really thick. I am Todd Domer.
And I'm Matt Malloy. And yes, regardless of how thick you lay it on, it cannot mask my disappointment as well with the fact that we are once again, our movie theater of choice has shut down.
Yeah.
It is quite troubling to us as movie-going, movie-loving people. But we are here to soldier on.
Well, yeah, and I want our listeners to know that we even thought about going to a different theater and giving our business to a different theater. But it's not a theater being open or not open that's the problem. It's that Hollywood won't release its movies because they can't make $1 billion off of them right now. So they're screwing us, the public, because there's only one movie coming out in November. So what's the point of having a subscription or something for one movie if all the other movies that come out are old movies, which you can just watch at home?
True. Although I guess, Todd, we could just pay regular price and go see that one movie and still pay less than a subscription.
I mean, that's fair. I can't remember what that one movie was or whether or not we should see it or not, but maybe we should no matter what.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should support the cratering movie theater industry in hopes that one day they'll rise from the grave and help us out.
Yeah, we should start a Patreon page for our podcast here and just donate the money to the movie theater industry just to keep them afloat. I'm sure we can get a lot of money. I'm sure our listeners are begging to pay us for us making their ears feel good with our voices.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we do have 4 different people who listen to the podcast in the state of California alone.
Yes.
So, hey.
If you're listening, Jonathan Ducharme, sorry, you are not the only Californian.
Probably.
Oh, that's true. All Californians are rich, so.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, John. But thanks for listening. Well, so, yes, we're disappointed about this, but let's talk about movies because that's what we like. This time, as you may have guessed from Todd's intro, which dealt with magic, we did see a movie with the word magic in the title. And that movie is called Magic Mike. 2012 is when this movie came out. Got a few notables in it. Matthew McConaughey.
The role that Matthew McConaughey was born to play, I'm convinced, was this role.
Yes, owner of a strip club.
Yeah.
Channing Tatum is the lead character, aka Magic Mike.
C. Tates.
And then there's Olivia Munn has been in stuff, and that's kind of it as far as people I recognize. Did I miss anyone?
Well, Matt, you did miss Big Sexy himself, Kevin Nash of wrestling fame, who was Tarzan in this movie, and Joe Manganiello, who is I know him for several different things. He was the original Flash Thompson in the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies, the high school bully, but he's also a huge D&D game person, and he's got like a cult following for people who follow him playing D&D. It's weird, but he's also been in plenty of movies. Gotcha. And then Matt Boomer, who, if you have watched American Horror Story, he keeps popping up in that show in various ways. He's also done some movies too, but those are the people that I recognize.
Okay, well, You always recognize more than me, so I'm glad we have this podcast together.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm a little disappointed you didn't recognize Big Sexy Kevin Nash,
well,
formerly Diesel in the WWF.
so I did recognize his name when I was looking at the credits, and I was like, I feel like that guy's just a wrestler or something because he looked like one in the movie.
Oh, he's
Um,
sure not a dancer, I'll tell you that.
yes. So interesting. Well, so what is this movie about? Well, this movie is about male strippers.
Mm.
Um,
The end.
we could just end it there. Uh, so the two main characters are Magic Mike, who's been a male stripper for a long time, but he kind of has a bunch of side gigs and he's saving his money and he wants to do something different someday. And then he meets up with this guy named Adam, who who
Yes.
he basically brings under his wing and brings him right into the male stripping industry as a male stripper. So yeah, and then we've got Matthew McConaughey as the strip club owner, Dallas, Uh,
Dallas.
and there's a minor love interest with Adam's sister, Brooke, between Magic Mike and and so that's then you just throw in a whole bunch of stripping happening
Yeah.
on screen, a lot of dancing, not really a ton of nudity. There was always tasteful covering of the man bits.
Mm. So tasteful.
So tasteful, or maybe not tasteful, but at least covering. But yeah, there's a lot of gyrating and uh, various things that I guess happen in stripping places.
Well,
Not a
are you
big.
saying you've never been?
I'm not a big expert of stripping
Oh
places.
man.
So yeah, so so that's the that's the movie. Honestly, there's not much more to it than that. There's like some minor highs and lows, like things go bad and things go good, and you know, but mainly it's about men dancing with little to
Sure.
no clothes on. So
Mm.
yeah,
Hmm.
what Todd did you think of Magic Mike?
Well, first I'll say that this movie is supposed to loosely be based on Channing Tatum's life. To which I
Oh,
say,
really?
at some point he probably stripped once, and they somehow from that one story they pulled out a movie.
Hmm.
So, um, the movie that made everyone fall in love with Channing Tatum. Weirdly enough, for a movie that doesn't have a lot going for it, I think this is a fine movie. I didn't hate it. It's certainly not the best movie. Uh, there's a lot of things going against it, but I found Channing Tatum to be just charming as hell in this movie. I was swooning a little bit for old C Tates. I was like, man. I was like, he's just a charming character in this movie. I hope that's what he's like in real life. I think we would get along. We could find random wood on the beach and build furniture and stuff like that, which is what he wants to do in this movie as a profession.
You could be
Um,
best friends and do stripping together.
yeah, I mean, I don't know how many people are going to come out for me, but they'll come out for him, and maybe they'll stick around nicely
Hey, if
to
they
see
came out
me.
for Kevin Nash, anything's on the table.
Yeah. So
I
the
think you
biggest.
top Kevin Nash.
That's true. Hopefully. I'd say the biggest thing. It's a simple story. Let's just get that out of the way. Very simple story. It doesn't. It's not very deep. Kind of stripper with a heart of gold. Like any other kind of pretty woman prostitute with a heart of gold. Like any other kind of movie along those lines. Person who does this profession with a heart of gold. And the biggest glaring problem with this movie is that it is filled with people who are just bad at acting. Like
Hmm.
the guy who he befriends, Adam, is horrible. He I think his character was supposed to be played off like I'm a person who doesn't care, You know, like you can't get me to care about anything because I'm young and I'm free and or I don't know whatever. But it's just it's so bad. Like, and then his sister, the woman who plays his sister, she's also equally bad to me. Like anytime that they're in a scene together, I was like, this is like a black hole. Like anything that could be good out of the scene is being sucked into their bad acting and making me want to skip ahead. And
Mm.
gosh darn it, if for some reason Kevin Nash's bad dancing didn't make me angry during the dancing stripping scenes, like where everyone else in the six people who are dancing on stage is doing a fine job and trying hard. And man, he looks like he cannot function. Like he's like the left shark of that Super Bowl performance by Katy Perry, just doing his own thing in each dancing scene. And it's funny when I watched it. It made me laugh, but it certainly wasn't a good laugh. It wasn't like, man, this movie is like good. I'm laughing at it. I'm entertained. It was more like, wow, this is pathetic. I'm laughing at this scene.
Mm.
So, um, once again, the role that Matthew McConaughey was born to play was Dallas in this movie. And in fact, the second scene he's in, he's playing bongos shirtless, which is like it was just at the right time where all this shirtless McConaughey bongo playing was being reported and all this kind of stuff, and they just really capitalized on those tabloid things for this movie. Well, I mean, I'm crapping on this movie a lot, but I still kind of had a good time when I watched this movie. It wasn't like I wasn't miserable. So should anyone see this movie? That's a tough one. This is a very simple movie. If you're just looking for an hour and 30, hour 40-minute movie to just sit back and, pass time or whatever, then sure, watch this movie. If you're looking for truly in-depth stuff, that may change your life or change your view on stripping or something, this is probably not for you. If you just want to see a movie where Channing Tatum is just a sweet guy, then this movie's just for you. So that's where I'm going to end it. Matt, what did you think about the lovable Channing Tatum?
Lovable is probably not a word I would apply, but his character is a good guy. I don't know him. Maybe he's a good guy in real life, like you say. Maybe he's a but yeah, this movie had a lot of men taking their clothes off, which, to be fair, it's that's what the movie's about. But I didn't particularly enjoy those scenes at all. And if the choreography was a little bit better on their dancing, I would have been right there. But I don't know. I didn't like that part of it. That was a huge part of the movie. Like many.
It was a lot.
Scenes.
There was a lot of good. There were a lot of dance scenes.
Yes, many scenes. And then we had the simple story. Simple, yes, stripper with a heart of gold, who wants to go a different way in the world, but is trapped by his circumstances. And you could probably figure out where it goes from there. But yeah, I guess one interesting thing about this movie is that all of the dancing was the actual people playing their parts. There were no body doubles or.
They should have had a body double for Kevin Nash, but
they should have, or maybe
everyone else seemed kind of okay. I mean, especially Channing. I mean, he's an actual dancer, so he seemed like he knew what he was doing.
Right. But yeah, I would say if you're interested in seeing, if you would be interested in going to a male strip club, you should watch this movie because you'll probably enjoy it if you would enjoy that. So,
or it'll at least let you know what you're in for.
Maybe. I don't know. I can't verify that.
That's true.
But Um, but other than that, I'd say skip this movie. um, I didn't hate it. I did like the kind of uh, uplifting ending. Was kind of nice, but I don't know. I would say skip it. Kind of how I
Hmm.
feel about it.
There you have it.
There it is.
Well, Matt, um, how many penis pumps would you give this movie out of 5?
Oh dear.
Which is something that's used in the movie.
Yes, on screen no less.
It is also, yeah, your introduction to a character. It's like the first time you see him, he's using a penis pump.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Um, yeah, pretty interesting. But I would
Uh,
say, I would say, without the backdrop of Stripper with a Heart of Gold, this is sort of a very average movie. And then throw in Stripping, which I didn't really want to watch. Drops it a little bit for me, but still okay. So I'm gonna give it 2 penis pumps out of 5.
Fair.
What about you, Todd?
Uh, yeah, I'm not too far off from that. I mean, there's things I enjoyed about this movie, but I don't think any of them are like attributed to being a good movie or anything. Like, um, so yeah, I think I'm at like a 2.3 penis pumps out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
2.3 PPs
Yeah,
out of 5.
the double P's.
Yeah.
Well,
So.
great. All right. Well, I guess that's gonna wrap up this episode of Matt and Todd Go to the Movies, where we watched and gave our thoughts about 2012's Magic Mike. Maybe someday we'll get to review the sequel, Magic Mike XXL.
XXL, yeah, which I've never seen. So I don't think it's on Netflix though. So hopefully Netflix brings it together.
Yeah, and
Might as
hopefully
well
it's
get the second one if you have the first one. What the heck?
right. Might as well, especially on,
Yeah.
especially nothing.
Mm.
Um. So anyway, we gave it an average rating of 2.15 penis pumps out of 5. Um, and generally believe that unless you're really interested in male stripping, uh, probably skip this. Yeah. So thanks for listening to our podcast. We're going to keep making these until the movie industry completely craters. And
Yeah.
yeah. So there
All
you
right.
have it.
Ah. Da 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 da.
Da da
Da da da.
da da da.